What is going on, everyone? Everyone, what's happening? Alex Coring, what's going on, brother? Good to be here on this special night, man.
Doing fantastic. Doing fantastic, as always.
I love our virtual backgrounds. I think they're absolutely awesome. I love the fact that we've gone all out on these backgrounds, brother. And for all of you watching right now, please put smiley faces in because this is some pretty good background stuff that we've got going on. But, in all seriousness, here we are. We're launching something that we've worked on really, really hard over the last 6 months. And it's actually been longer than that. If we think about this, it's been years and years and years in the making, really, where we finally got together and came up with the idea of doing this, man. So why don't we share what's happened here over the last, year type of a thing and dig into what we're going to be speaking about here tonight to help everyone who's going to be watching.
Yeah, I mean, it was April a year ago, so you're in, 4 months or so. And we were sitting down in Anguilla and just kind of jamming on opportunities of how we can help people in their businesses, add line items and grow, just like I did with Sidewalk Safety. When I started, we just had a single line item, which was concrete grinding, single service. And we scaled that up quite rapidly through adding different service offerings to the existing client base that we had. And in the course of 7 years, 22x'd our business by adding line items to our product offering. So we're just kind of sitting there in Anguilla jamming on that topic and sort of came up with the idea of, hey, what if we did some kind of synergistic product launch and training around concrete grinding as that was our start in the business. And for 20 years was a single source of revenue that kept my family business going. So was happy to take that business over 8 years ago and just start growing it with you, Judd. That was where I first started expanding into the asphalt world was through you and the National Pavement Expo. And we met there in 2017. So our journey continues to today.
100%, man. It's so good to be here and launching this with you tonight. We have a lot of offline conversations, and the mission has always been, how can we help more people ultimately not go through the same kind of pain that maybe we've gone through during off season is one of those things, but also just struggling to make ends meet, really, right? A lot of people start in the pavement industry and they've got a dream. And a lot of the time, you hit the point where you're making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, and then you reach that 6-figure mark. And it's like, well, what do I need to do to take that to a whole new level? And I think there's going to be some really important golden nuggets that we're going to be sharing here with you all tonight. About how you can keep a year-round business running that is recession resistant, and also provide you with an opportunity to open up a portal that just allows you to become a better pavement management solutions provider as a whole by solving people's pain points that they have on their properties. And so, the main intent of tonight here, everyone, for everyone watching live right now, and for anyone watching the recording, the mission here was to bring you something from literally that A to Z run to teach you everything about building a grinding business for both concrete and asphalt, to eliminate tripping hazards and allow you to add in a really high margin vertical within your business that opens up further opportunity. That was the mission. And so we've poured our hearts and soul into this. So stay tuned. We'll be on for the next hour. Feel free to drop your questions into your comments down below in the videos where we're streaming live right now on multiple platforms. Please don't hesitate. Also, we'll be popping up a QR code on the screen from time to time that you can scan, and you can actually set up a meeting to go over the course that we're launching here tonight to all of you. And that meeting that you can set up with Alex is to go through the process of understanding more about the course if you want to, but really the course, just so you understand, it's A to Z, and we're going to show you everything. Well, we'll show you a sneak peek under the hood as to what you're getting.
Yeah, it's this has been said a lot in business, and you probably know this well, is that, when you're $100,000 revenue company, you do things a certain way, and as you grow, you get to 500,000 or 1 million or 2 million. But the things that you need to do in your business as you grow and scale, like, change. You can't do the same thing that you've done to get to 100 grand, might not carry you to 500 grand in revenue. If you're trying to get from 500 to 1 million, just doing more of the same thing generally doesn't get you there. You have to do different things along the way. And a big piece of that is adding product offerings. Major corporations like Apple, Microsoft, I mean, they do it all the time. How do they grow their companies? They buy, other products and services, like what Facebook bought WhatsApp and things like that, right? So even the bigger companies, they acquire new products and new offerings to grow and scale their business. And that's kind of what we're talking about here today, is just, if you want to grow your company, you need to add things to your offering, and you can grow without having to, spend a bunch of energy going out and finding new clients. You can grow within the existing client base you already have.
So as we kick this off, Alex, when I say there's heart and soul poured into this, there's, it takes courage as a business that's providing services in the grinding niche that are highly profitable. It takes courage for you as an owner of the business to create a course like this and to provide this to the public. It takes courage to do that. I know that old school mentality is, man, if you go and put a course out, you're going to create more competition for yourself. But your mindset was so different than that. It was like, how can I help more people not go through the struggles and to add a vertical that they can monetize from? So why don't you take us back to where, you originally started to capture content out in the field and what you put into that? Because I certainly know, but I want our audience to understand what you actually put into that, even before you started to shoot video with a professional videographer. What did you do originally, and share that, please?
Once we sat down and kind of came up with the idea, I think it was, the brainchild of the AK coaching program that I'm a part of, and being a part of that for about a year prior to us sitting down and talking about the grinding course. But having trained professionals in the field and young entrepreneurs getting started in the seal coating and pavement maintenance industry. I also had a background in field sales training in my previous career. So I was always mentoring and training people throughout my sales career and my professional career. So that's just kind of a part of who I am, right? It's an innate part of who I am, that if I learn something, I want to be able to share that with other people. I have, 2 young kids, and I'm constantly being an educator to them as well, and helping them navigate their way through the world. So I think that's just a part of who I am, is to help other people grow and share the knowledge that I've gotten. And there were a few naysayers in my orbit that didn't like the idea of me sharing this coveted secret of concrete grinding. This is a very high profit margin business to be in. Not a lot of people know about it, and there's not a lot of competition for this business. There are a few franchise companies out there that were actually, one of the fastest national growing franchises a few years ago was a concrete grinding company. But there really hasn't been much education around it. And I figured that it was just time to share this with the world and share this with the community at large of what a good opportunity this is. And, as far as being competition, I think, if you do what you do really well and you service your clients well and you treat your customers well, they're going to come back to you regardless of whether or not there's somebody else down the street that has a concrete grinder. I think it's all about servicing your clients and developing those relationships. So, that's I'm not really too worried about that aspect of things, but I know that some people have that mentality is if you know something that's worth a lot, you keep it to yourself. Whereas I feel like it's kind of like karma. The more you give out, the more you're going to get back. So that's kind of my mindset.
And I've watched you do this. So everyone that's watching right now, we're going to start to show you, stay tuned. We're going to show you underneath the hood a little bit more here about the course and what you get as part of this concrete grinding course. This is something where I will go back to when Alex and I first kind of said, let's do the collab, let's do this thing, let's provide this to the audience and help them grow their businesses with a high margin solution, recession resistant. And Alex, you got to understand, and I'm gonna speak about Alex for a second right now. Alex is one of the most methodical people I ever met in my life. He's very, very detailed. He wants everything to be pretty perfect. If it's not pretty perfect, it's tough. And so, Alex, you know, you and I coming together, I'm more of a marketing and sales guy. You're also marketing and sales, but you're way more methodical than me. And so when you started to unfold the course, everyone, just to be clear, like he was writing details about what the course outline was going to be and going into really granular aspects of what he really felt you needed to get access to in order to really do this thing properly in this niche of grinding. And so Alex would share documents with me, and all of a sudden it would be like 3 pages of documents. And I was like, this is awesome. So we're going to have to go film all this stuff. And Alex is like, yeah, we're going to go film it. But we're also going to be providing outlines, written outlines and details pertaining to the course, so that not only are you going to be watching videos, how-to videos from A to Z about grinding, but you're also going to have access to the outlines, the content, the resources, and really everything that you need to go from prospecting through to closing your deals and building lifelong account and opening up new opportunities for perhaps crack sealing or pothole patching or seal coating and striping, even paving. And so this is a fantastic opportunity for you guys all to really understand that Alex has really, really done this to the T. And I know, like Amy, who's our CEO, she has gone through the course and she came back to me and she's like, Judd, Alex blew my socks off, man. Like he did such an incredible job. And Alex, you know how Amy is, right? And so for Amy to say that, that's like legit. And so for all of you watching right now, just so you understand, this course is a beast, and you have everything in here to get cranking on a business. And, you know, similar franchises, just to be clear, Alex, you were sharing some numbers with me and the roundtable community, but a franchise, you know, there's the original franchise fee, there's territories, there are ongoing franchise fees on top of that. And so you end up in a spot, of course, paying a lot of money for knowledge and a tech stack and maybe some access to a client base, which is all valuable. I'm not taking away from that, but we're speaking, you know, $60,000 to $100,000, right, for franchises in a lot of cases to join a franchise.
Yeah, some of these grinding franchises are charging, you know, the last time I checked was a few years ago, about $65,000 to go, you know, get some of their collateral. They do some national marketing on a, you know, national website. But, you know, as far as what you're getting in terms of knowledge, to do like start a whole new business from scratch. This training course is literally a business in a box. And if you want to get further training, so, you know, you take the course, watch the videos, read the content. Like Judd said, we really honed in on pretty much every aspect. I mean, there's a whole section there on estimating. How do you do an estimate? How do you charge for certain jobs? And what to look for. And there's, you know, a couple of properties we walked through and did the filming on and gave call outs as to exactly what we're looking for while we're out there. And then, you know, there's a in-depth proposal creation section there. So how do you put that together? How do you take the information you collect when you're out doing estimates and then put it into a proposal? And I think that's the biggest piece, right? Is that, okay, hey, I can go out and do the work, right? I know how to operate a grinding machine. I've watched the tutorial. Cool. I'm going to go out and buy a grinding machine, but it's stepping onto that property for the first time. And if you don't really know what you're looking for and don't know how to present that back to a client, that's going to be, a hurdle that might be tough to jump over. So we definitely pay close attention to that whole estimating side of the business and prospecting, cold calling, what kind of clients to go after, and all the different aspects of the grinding business, from using hand grinders, planetary grinders, grinder scarifiers. So pretty much everything that we do is covered in the course, and goes down to maintenance and running through all the different machines and what types of machines to use. And I think there's a lot in there that can help people when they just watch the videos, read the content, and you'll feel really confident to go out there and just buy a machine and get started.
All right, let's get cranking on showing you guys a little bit under the hood of what we're providing you with the course once you sign up to the course. And there's a lot, man. There is a lot. There's 15 parts of this course, plus resources, plus. You get all kinds of perks. And tonight I'm going to share a pretty awesome perk as well that I haven't told Alex about yet, which is it's going to have significant value. It has over $700 value that I'm going to be giving out tonight per company. And so that is going to be coming up. So stay tuned. Let's show you under the hood. And for those of you watching on Facebook, if you don't mind, just go ahead and share this video out. We'd appreciate it. I know that more people out there need help, and to really understand that we can add this vertical to monetize from within a business. And the less that we have to, go through winter months where we might have some struggle, we can get into grinding and have a year-round business that opens up those opportunities for you. And to be clear, tripping hazards are not going away. Concrete is not going away. Asphalt is not going away. It's out there. And again, we're going to be showing you everything from prospecting, like literally Alex recorded videos on prospecting, right through to actually closing deals in the field and building lifelong accounts. I'll show you one more video here, and then we're going to show you under the hood. Stay tuned. All right. So we're going to go ahead and show you underneath the hood right here a little bit more. And I just want to go over a couple things with you. We just discussed that joining a franchise is in the realm of anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000. You've got to buy territories. There's ongoing franchise fees. And ultimately, you end up in a spot where you don't own your own independent company that you can grow and scale independently. You're always tied to the man, so to speak. So in this course, we're going to provide you with everything you need from A to Z about building your grinding business. Of course, we're not exactly providing you with the equipment for this price, but we're providing you with every ounce of information and resources that you're going to need to develop your own grinding business. And you can see down here that there is making $2,000 a day is very, very achievable in this business. So Alex, can you tell us a little bit more about what that looks like from a daily revenue perspective and what those margins look like when you're out in the field?
Yeah, so that's per person, right? or per machine that you can make $2,000 a day in profit. We're typically doing somewhere around 40 grinds a day per person. So when you take out the cost of the gasoline and labor, if you're paying somebody to go out there and do that, you could probably hire somebody, nationwide, probably $20 an hour to go out and do this work. So, you're looking at about $160 in labor for the day and maybe $40 in gas, if that. So maybe $200 in cost. And, obviously you have mobilization fees and overhead and stuff like that. But when you're talking about direct cost on a job, each machine out there grinding every day can generate about $2,000 in profit. And typically we have 2 or 3 machines running on a job site a day. Our scopes of work are between 50 and 200 grinds. Typically, we have some of the smaller jobs as well. If we have small jobs, we try and get a 2-man crew to get out and do multiple of those a day. But $2,000 a day in profit per machine is pretty common. We have a question. I think this is a good one coming up from Palladium Pavement. What are the pros and cons of grinding compared to poly level sidewalk elevation? I think what you're referring to is like mud jacking or raising concrete. So that is also kind of in the realms of, how do you get rid of a trip hazard? And poly leveling is more of like, hey, your concrete sunk and it's sunk in relation to a curb. So if you have a parking stall with the sidewalk in front of it, and that curb was not poured monolithically with the sidewalk, that sidewalk can sink over time if you have like softer soil and they didn't put enough road base underneath it. So we don't do the mud jacking or poly leveling, but you can grind curbs down to meet sidewalk level, and still on the ends of where that sidewalk is sunken is going to be a trip hazard to grind. The poly leveling is a lot more expensive. So, I mean, if you have a large, long stretch of sidewalk that you're trying to fix a trip hazard, one on each side, because the concrete sunk, what we do is remove and replace. So instead of doing the mud jacking and poly leveling, we just cut out the sidewalks and replace them.
So Alex, from a grinding side of things, though, like we are really just focused here on this course with grinding concrete and asphalt, period.
Yeah, no mud jacking or poly leveling this.
Correct. So on the course, you're going to get everything that you need to be able to do this with concrete and asphalt. And inside of here, you're going to end up with 3 hours worth of content, video content that's all professionally shot and edited from A to Z. We're giving you bonuses, job templates, so you can get started with finding concrete grinding employees and salespeople. You've got bonuses ready to make templates that will help you do all aspects of your business with your new venture. You have lifetime access to the exclusive AK Roundtable that we offer every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You get unlimited support from our company as well. And what we're throwing in, which is a huge bonus, is coming up right after we go through what's inside this course here. So Alex, why don't you take us through the course and some of the details pertaining to each section here?
There's a couple of intro segments where we just talk about the industry in general and our background as a company and how we got started. I think that, I don't know if Judd, you want to kind of roll a little bit of that content, but we have the introduction section, and then really, there we go.
Let's do it. I just want to make sure you can hear the audio on it. Can you hear the audio?
I can't hear
it. Okay, let's see if we can get the audio for everyone. Can you hear audio?
No.
Okay,
audio.
let me do a share back over here. Thanks for everyone's patience. Little technical glitch on Restream. We got this. Also share. Here we go. Let's try this, Alex. Right here. Stay tuned, everywhere. Watch this. You'll hear this, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex Coring, the owner of Sidewalk Safety.
Yeah.
I'm one of the Asphalt Kingdom mentors and coaches. We're a family-owned concrete and pavement asset management company that's been in business for 27 years. Our main purpose is to help property owners and management companies maintain their sidewalks and parking lot areas to keep them safe, long-lasting, and looking great. As leaders in the industry, Judd Burden from Asphalt Kingdom and I have come together to develop this concrete grinding course to help aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners make money all year round.
So I think that's the key, right?
Yep. That's the key.
Money
All year round, recession resistant, tripping hazards are not going away. That's a 7-minute video for intro. We won't play the whole thing, but here's some more example here.
Safety. We're a concrete and pavement asset management company based in Sacramento, California. I'm working with Judd Burden to bring you a scarifying course that's designed to help seal coaters and pavement maintenance companies generate revenue through the winter months. Today we are bringing you some education around concrete maintenance side of business that I do. And what I am in the business of doing is scarifying concrete and grinding trip hazards so that properties and have safe walkways and that their tenants and guests have a safe environment to move about. So there are a lot of problems with tree root damage and sinking of concrete that are on properties, and these pose liabilities.
Alex, how many grinds could you do in a day? Did you say?
About 40.
About 40.
I think I've covered on Judd.
Got 40 of them, you said?
Yeah. Per person.
That's wild. How's the echo? Is it there?
It's still there. Yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling. Why don't you keep rolling here and talking about through what you got going on here in the different sections. You can actually take control of the share if you want.
Sure. So this echo is gonna it's gonna stop me from talking.
So I don't hear an echo at all. Let's keep rolling on this. I'm not sure where the echo is coming from. Can somebody give me a thumbs up or let me know if you're hearing an echo in the comments down below? If you don't mind, let us know if you're hearing an echo when I'm speaking.
I can't hear an echo just when I'm speaking.
Oh, I'm not sure what that is. But let's go ahead and show you a little bit more underneath the hood here. Let's show you right now. Here we go. Check this out. All right, so we've got the introduction. There's 75 minutes of introduction that's here. Alex, you're echoing on your side according to Palladian Pavement. We go into why safety, why concrete grinding, what is concrete grinding. We go into details of that. Setting up your business. We have starting the business, the whole setup aspect of building your business. We've got your concrete grinding services that are in here and going right into all the details of everything here. And then we go into branding and marketing. We have scaling and growth. We have sales, cold calling, and prospecting. Like, this is such an important thing, right? Without sales, there is no bacon, as we say. So when we come down, we actually go through a whole video of speaking about sales in here. That is a really important one. And then we actually go into details teaching you about the importance of nailing down exactly what you need to do in order to close the deals that are out there in the marketplace. So cold calling scripts and so on. There's a bunch of this in here as well for you. Estimates and proposals. One of Alex's superpowers for sure. Alex, are you still hearing an echo or you're good?
Yeah. Every time I talk, echo.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I can tell you, I've watched you do proposals, my man. You absolutely annihilate it when it comes down to doing your proposals, brother. Like, I have never seen somebody do proposals the way that you actually do them. You kick ass there. How's the echo when I stop sharing?
Let me see. No, it's gone now.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So you kick ass with proposals, dude. You do it differently and you start sharing you start sharing your secret sauce inside the course, man. You've taken your company from low six figures to a multiple 7-figure company coming.
Yeah, we're probably going to do 2.5 this year, 2.5 mil. It's kind of what we're on.
Boom.
We're actually ahead of last year. I thought we weren't going to be because we had a couple of really big projects last year. Two projects we did were almost half of our revenue. So I thought we are going to have a hard time chasing that this year, but we just got a lot of really good high margin projects. Back to what you're saying about the estimating and doing the takeoffs for these jobs. When we first started, we were doing everything on paper maps. So we would have one estimator go out into the field, and they'd have a piece of paper, and then they would either try and print out a map of the property ahead of time, or in apartment complexes, oftentimes they have a map that they have in the front office, and it's just like a cartoon map of the property. And so we'd go out and put circle a bubble on the sidewalk, kind of like an oval where the trip hazard was. And then at the end of the day, count them up, and hopefully we counted all of them right. If you have 120 of these things and you forget where you were, so you have to get out a highlighter, and then you have to highlight each one and keep count. So, all those little things became issues, and with sharing the information back to sort of the people writing the bids. So if we had Gary, who was my father-in-law, and he started the company, and that was his method. When you're by yourself, that's fine. But if he goes out and does an estimate and he has to get me the information, that wasn't really an efficient process. So we just started building new ways to do things. And one of them was using digital maps to locate and pin with GPS, pin things on a map that was shareable, that he could go out and with an iPad or a tablet or a phone or whatever device, and document the work areas on the property. And as we kind of played around with that tool, we figured, hey, we can embed more information in here. We can do pictures. We can just really beef up the process. So I would say that, we kind of finalized, or it was a work in progress for 6 years. Last year, we kind of finalized what the capabilities are of the system that we use, and it's a really robust system now. It's very, the clients absolutely love it. It's shareable through an organization. We can send these maps off to regional managers or local managers, and oftentimes in our proposals we also do embedded videos where we're actually doing like a virtual 3D walkthrough of the property, so that the client understands exactly what the scope of work is, and how we're going to take care of all of the trip hazard liabilities on the property. All of that content is in the course, as well as to how to build these digital maps and go out and into the field and document where the work needs to be done on a property and exactly what you're going to do.
I mean, that is just that piece alone teaching. I mean, you do a lot of that teaching with your coaching clients as well. You teach them how to draft proposals that convert at rates that are way beyond industry standard. Like, we often hear industry standard in the range of the low 20s from a conversion rate perspective. What is your conversion rate right now on projects that you're outputting proposals out to? What's that conversion rate to one?
Last time I checked, it was around 60%, which was a couple of months ago. So I have a dashboard that tells me, but I don't check it every day. Let me see. Let me check my dashboard and see.
I mean, that is absolutely huge. And for me, that's just, listen to that, everyone. Think about that. If you took your conversion rate from 20 or 30% to 50%, even 40%, just by using some tactics that are the difference that makes the difference to help somebody know, like, and trust you through something that was professionally delivered. Like, I mean, just to be clear, like, look, I'm going to share my screen here again with you. Look at this. Like, you start delivering proposals that are badass, and we start to really have something that is a completely different caliber. And of course, with AK Dash, we're working collectively to to have these mapping systems and these proposals, and then to get them pushed out through AK Dash is something that really creates that ultimate sales machine for you. And so you don't want to be working harder than you need to. You need to be working smarter, that is available to you by simply learning about these kind of things. And that's all in this course, just to be clear. We've got a question that's come in, Alex, right here. We've got a question in from that says, how much do you charge per grind? What's a dollar number you will not go out and grind? It's a great question. So minimum charge, and what do you charge per grind?
Yeah, I mean, our minimum charge when we kind of started out doing minimum charges, I would say about 4 years ago, was $500. Then we moved it to 600, and now it's 1,000. So we just don't deploy a crew unless it's 1,000. So we will give them, we have a grinding fee. It's when we started out, it was like $29. We moved it to 35, and we've gone up from there. So it just kind of depends on your market. I think getting somewhere in the range of $50 to $60 a grind for a 4-foot wide sidewalk is not asking too much. I think that's kind of on par with what other companies are doing. So if you get out there and you do something like 12, 13 grinds would be a minimum, and it used to be 10 grinds for 600. So that's kind of where we would if somebody had
Right.
one, it would be 600. If somebody had 10, it would be 600. So we always tell them, hey, if you've got one area on a property that really needs attention, somebody tripped and fell, and they said, hey, we need to address this one issue. Well, we'll come out there and we'll scope around the property for additional areas that need grinding. We call that a finding grind. So we'll just get a blanket PO for $600, $1,000, or whatever it is, whatever your minimum is, and then we'll go out and do a finding grind.
Great question, by the way. Great question. Yeah. I
wouldn't go out for like less than $500 because that's a deployment cost.
We say the same thing too in the whole pothole hunting and patching with infrared units. It's the same kind of thing. It's like, you don't want to go out and do $125 press. We're in the business of making lots of money and being profitable with it. So make sure that you really understand your time and your true costs associated with your time, right? It's not free to get to the job site. It's not free. You have to mobilize, you got to get your stuff ready, you got to get over to the job, and so on and so forth. And there's a cost to that. For everyone on
the cost of your estimates, right? Because we give free estimates. So I'm sure that's pretty common just in the pavement maintenance industry, and just a lot of construction, landscaping and service-based industries go out and give a free proposal. But there's definitely a cost to going out and doing those proposals. So, if you're winning, say 50% of them, and you're losing 50% of them, you got to recoup that time that you spent going out and walking properties.
Let's keep going down here. Keep popping your questions in, by the way, everyone. YouTube, you've got Facebook rolling. We got LinkedIn. Let's go. Pop your questions in. We're on hot right now. Let's do it. So over here, this is a really important thing that we dig into here, Alex, is the annual inspections and building that renewable income for you. And there's some secret pieces, and I'm not going to flash on there very long, but why don't you help us understand a little bit more about what this means without letting the prize out of the box, so to speak, because we do want people to go through the course and not just butcher the process, but instead actually follow the dang process by doing what it is that we're teaching in this course, because it's important that we also level the industry standard up. We don't want just, somebody going to grab a grinder and going out there and having, you don't want the concrete dust up blowing around in the air and in your face and children, breathing it and all of that stuff. So why don't you help us understand two things? One is the annual safety inspection and what that kind of looks like. And then the second thing, to the importance of not just going out there and winging it.
Yeah. So the first point, the annual safety inspections, we offer that to all of our clients. We get a lot of phone calls to come out and just, hey, I need this one thing grinded, this one trip hazard, or it could be a client that we've done business with, multiple year over year. When we get those one-off calls, we always pitch the aspect of keeping their property, like we said, kind of in the beginning, safe, long lasting, and looking great. And so we want to develop that relationship and foster that and do those annual safety inspections. Like a few of our clients, we're doing biannual inspections. So we're going out every 6 months and we're looking for the trip hazards on the property. That does, one of two things. First of all, it keeps their property safe, and we're not getting as big of POs, but what we're doing is we're going out and we're staying relevant to that client all year round, right? So when you offer these safety inspections and you position it that way, not just, hey, I'm going to come out and grind your sidewalk, but I'm going to come out and make sure that your property is safe. All of the walking paths, all of the concrete and all of the asphalt, and you're not going to have any liabilities on that property. A lot of times, especially after we get a rainy season, I'm out here in California, but we'll see in the springtime, after the ground's kind of softened up and the trees get a lot of water, trip hazards will come up out of nowhere. They will just literally, there's just a root growing under that sidewalk. The joint has got pressure building, and then overnight it snaps and you've got a 2-inch trip hazard in a sidewalk that didn't exist there before. And so you have people that are walking through these communities and they've never seen a trip hazard right in front of their door or wherever it is. They get out of their car, they turn around with groceries, and all of a sudden this trip hazard's popped up out of nowhere and it catches them off guard. So it's really important to do those annual or biannual inspections, especially after a rainy season. And what that does is it really keeps us relevant for some of the bigger projects. I mean, we do a lot of concrete remove and replace as well, and seal coating and line striping. But when you are out there on that property every 6 months or a year, it gives you the opportunity to establish that relationship with that client. And the second point was the second point of that?
Second point was how you don't want to just go out and wing it.
Yeah. So we do see a lot of work from other grinding companies and or mostly it's not other grinding companies, because other grinding companies have decent enough work, but you'll see like the maintenance guy, he'll be, oh, we can do this in-house, and they go out and they rent a machine and it looks like awful. It's just scribble scratch. They've taken it looks like they took the grinder for a walk. like they're walking their dog, but they're just walking a grinder across the sidewalk, and they mess up not only the slab that's lifted, but they get into the sidewalk that's not damaged or raised, and they chew it up. And we have a proven technique that we've developed, over 20 years to get a really, really clean looking finished product that is really blends in with like the existing concrete, and over time you can barely see it. And so with scarifying, there's other ways of taking down trip hazards. One is cutting, so concrete cutting is another way of doing it. But what that does is it leaves the surface of the concrete super smooth. And imagine like polished concrete, right? It's really slick, especially when it gets wet. So we basically say about our competitors that do that, we turn tripping hazards into slipping hazards. And so with the scarifying or grinding, you're actually leaving a little bit of a rough surface that helps give you traction as you're walking up any kind of ramp surface where we do grinding. So using the proper technique and not just going out and winging it is super important. I think you're muted, Judd.
The other thing is, I have seen people go out and take a hand grinder, like literally a hand grinder, and they'll sit there for hours trying to get rid of that tripping hazard that's a 3/4 inch lip. And the time it takes and the danger around that is just, it's not worth it. You're much better off to take your time and get the right money in place to be able to get the right piece of equipment to start out with. And you don't have to break the bank. You can get financing on a small unit and you can get out there and get started. But getting down on your hands and knees and using a grinder is probably not the best way to start, right? It's kind of it's getting pretty dangerous and also time consuming, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Would you agree?
Yeah. We use the hand grinders for a couple of different things. Mostly it's like if you have a grind that's up against a wall and there's the grinding machine has a drum and there's a belt housing depending on which side you're getting it from. And if you're on the belt housing side, is up against the wall, you're pushed off maybe 3 or 4 inches. So there's that little piece that we leave that we want to knock down with the hand grinder. We go over.
Let me clarify. I meant like a small hand grinder with like a cutting disc, like a small little hand grinder. Not the best thing to get behind, right?
Yeah, I mean that would take you forever, and then if you're not using the appropriate guards on that and dust extraction equipment, no. But I mean we do use, and we go over it in the course, using hand grinders with a dust shroud and a vacuum system to just clean up a corner on a grind. So we occasionally use them, but you're not going to go out and do 40 of those in a day. No way. You'd be crazy to do something like that. I see a question here with the wet grind saw, or do we use a vacuum? Everything that we do is dry, so we're not using any water, and we use high-powered silica dust vacuums that are specially designed to handle a lot of silica dust. So no, we don't just grind and leave clouds of dust in the air. Although some states might be more permissible. You have to definitely take more safety precautions with respirators and things like that. But no, we don't use any water in this process. It's all dry.
Great question. Alex, why don't you take us through some more of the video here? I know we've got everything from setting up shop right through to the equipment repairs and troubleshooting.
Yeah, so we go through my shop and all the different stations that we have in there for repairing equipment and all of the ancillary products that we use for concrete grinding. So when we say grinding, we'll develop a grinding proposal, but that doesn't always just entail grinding. There's other products that we go out and quote as well. So if there's raised cracks in a sidewalk, we go through that process of how to treat those raised cracks. We also do joint patching. So if you have somewhere where wood has rotted out, a lot of properties use wood joints. That wood's rotted out. You have a 2-inch gap in a sidewalk where a high heel could get stuck in. Somebody could trip on that as well. We go over patching that stuff. And then we go over all of the different machines. So from the smaller machines up to the larger ones, what are the benefits of each machine? And we go over 3 different brands of those machines. And then we go into maintaining those and loading up the drums with the grinding teeth and how to do the spacing on those and what different effects you're going to get on the concrete based on what type of drum you're loading up. So yeah, we go through all of that.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And for anyone watching right now, please post your questions. Any questions for Alex? Again, he's growing a business, 6-figure business into a multi-million-dollar operation. And of course, grinding was the portal. It was the gateway for him to grow his pavement management solutions business. Alex, if you had one particular account that you were going to go after, would that account with multiple properties? What kind of account would you hunt?
Our bread and butter is apartments. So I would say that's a really easy target. And pretty much every apartment complex has a local manager sitting in that front desk. I know that California has a law that if you have more than 13 units, they require an on-site manager. So I'm not sure what that is across the country, but I'm sure it's pretty similar. Most apartment complexes have somebody on site. So going out and cold calling them is a great entry point. But really, what you want to do is get in touch with those regional managers, the manager that takes care of 5 to 10 properties or something like that, and they become your single point of contact. Or you can go to different property management companies and do a sales presentation, get all the regionals there in one shot, and just go through your service and what you do. And you could get, some of these property management companies, they maintain 50, 100 different properties. Also, when you get into the commercial space, that's really key as well. So, we have some clients out here that all they do is commercial, and we get called up regularly for fixing doors that are stuck, that they can't open them up, and we go out and grind the entry for the door. And hey, it's $600 or $1,000 to show up and do one grind for a door that's stuck that won't open up anymore. So commercial property management companies are also a good target, but the bread and butter for us is apartment complexes.
There is endless amounts of content and information in here. This is awesome, man. And I've gone through the course since we've finished it, wrapped it up, since Mercy put her final touches on it. And I know that there's still going to be more stuff that's getting added into this as well. And so as things are added in, once you sign up for this course, just so you're clear, you have access to the course for life. And as we add in new resources, new tools within that course, the people who sign up right now are grandfathered in at that. There is a chance that we are going to be adding more and more pieces to this. And for anyone signing up new in the future, the course price will change. So it's a great opportunity to get in and grandfathered in at that price of the $9.99. It is available. The links are dropped into the comments down below that you can click on. And also a kicker for you, when you sign up to that course, I'm going to ask that you reach out to us at 866-399-5562. And when you reach out to us, it's going to be important. You can see the phone number on our screen right now. When you sign up to that course and you have a confirmation that you've signed up, we're going to be giving you 3 months of AK- King Boss. Wow. Which is not $700 value. That's over $1,000 of value as part of that course. So when you sign up, you're essentially getting the course and you're getting 3 months of AK- King Boss. Okay, so it's basically you're buying either or, but you're going to get both. And so that King Boss AK-, just to be clear for you, you have to call that number. So take a screenshot of that phone number right there once you've bought the course, and let us know with your confirmation code, and we'll unlock 3 months of King Boss for you. And Dylan Malone would be happy to provide you with a demo as well on the platform inside of AK-, which is an ultimate sales machine. Just to be clear, AK- is a platform that will allow you to store your customers' information. It will allow you to create tasks in the environment, have a deal pipeline, goals and target settings, pavement assessments, drafting great proposals, having automation and scheduling built in as well as part of that King Boss level. So you'll definitely want to take advantage of that. So Alex, I didn't tell you that we were going to be throwing that in.
That's amazing.
3 months worth. So that is there. And AK- you can visit ak-.com if you want to check it out. There is a free trial there, but for, again, those of you that sign up for the course, in that link down there below in the comments, sign up. It's $999 for the course, 3 months worth of AK- King Boss for you. Alex, I know that we're at the top of the hour here, coming up on 1 hour of total time in just a few minutes. What would be, I know we've got another question actually. Why don't we get this question on the board? How do you find your first customer? Do you post an ad, or do you give out flyers, business cards to big plazas? How do you go hunt your first client?
Yeah, that's great. Great question. I've developed a flyer, so it's kind of a leave behind. I get my business card, and when I go out and do an estimate, I target the closest 10 properties, and I want to make each trip I go out to go and do estimates, maximize what I'm able to do when I go out. And so finding your first customer is literally just building a prospecting list, and you could start with apartments or property management companies. Give the property management company a call and tell them that you want to be a vendor for grinding services. And a lot of them have a vendor credentialing process. So what we did in the beginning was we got on as many lists as we could. So we would call up all the property management companies and say, hey, we want to be a vendor for trip hazard grinding. And then they would just give us the process, and we would, a lot of times they charge you like $100 or something to become an approved vendor. But once you're an approved vendor, then all of the properties that they work with, they need to go to that list of approved vendors to pick somebody to get an estimate for. And so you're not going to get a call from from property management companies that only can go through that approved list. So I'd say number one is call management companies and try and become an approved vendor. And then another way of doing that is going directly to the property, and then that property will say, hey, we want this work done, and then they send it to their corporate office, and then they'll add you on as an approved vendor as well. But go become an approved vendor through property management companies. That's the number one way. Easy start.
And you'll find that it's a numbers game too, right? Like a lot of people say, well, I'm only going to do, 10 cold calls today, right? And it's like, if you're only doing 10, and you have a conversion rate of 20%, then, and I'm talking about just conversion rate to actually being able to provide a bid, like 20%. Yeah. So 2 out of 10, you now have 2 bids. And if you're closing at a 20% ratio, we know that you need a few days of work to even get a job, right? However, if you keep that consistency and discipline in your numbers game of going out, shaking hands, and impressing people with the way that you're communicating with them and presenting yourself with proper branding. I mean, I'm still laughing at this crown on top of me here. It's pretty funny, but I love it. And my team is awesome for doing this background. But what I will say is be branded, and all the videos that you're going to see, Alex and the team are branded, and they're professional, and they're not just showing up with torn jeans and a tank top. You know what I mean? They're showing up legitimately as a branded professional company that operates as a premier pavement management solutions business, and you should be doing the same. So numbers game, get out there and make sure you're loading your pipelines with not just proposals, but prospects on the front end of that pipeline. Often in a pipeline, we say there's prospect, lead, sales, qualified lead, opportunity, pavement assessment, proposal, closed won and closed lost, right? You want to have that pipeline that's working. And of course, as part of the Asphalt Kingdom community, you start learning more and more about those things. We talk about it on the AK Roundtable as well quite often. So the AK Roundtable, by the way, you can sign up to rate at any point in time. It's completely free. You can join up, and it's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And so again, the offer for the grinding course, the links are in the comments down there below. Let's drop them in there again, Alex. I'm going to drop a couple more in here. Let's do this thing. On YouTube, you are getting that link right there to sign up for the course. If you sign up, you are to call the toll-free number on our website and let them know your confirmation code, and we will unlock 3 months of King Boss AK Dash, which is $1,000 plus value. And on Facebook, I'm dropping the link in as well right now. That link right there. Go ahead and click that link, and you will be able to unlock it as well. Alex, is there any final words that you want to touch on here so that everyone kind of gets a piece of what we're wrapping up with?
Yeah, I would just say if you're at all interested in this sounds even remotely interesting to you as a standalone business, take the course, go through it. If you need help, reach out. We're going to be putting together a pro grinding workshop out here in Sacramento. So if you go through the course material and feel like you really want to get your hands dirty before buying any equipment or going through the process, you don't have to do it alone. We have a whole team behind us at AK and the coaching program. And so we're going to support you through every step of the way. It's the relationship doesn't end when you click on buy the course. I think that's where it begins. That's what I would kind of leave with.
I love that. That's so true, right? It's like, that's the beginning of the journey. You know, Alex, I was speaking with a guy, he may be watching live right now. I was speaking with him 2023 August. He buys a Powerliner 850 line striper. And I'm speaking with him today, and he's on target for $1.6 million. He's doing thermoplastics. He has multiple seal coat rigs. He's got his crews doing patching. They're doing military base work. They're just nailing it. And he's just like, if I could share that call recording right now, man, it would make everyone smile. But those are the kind of calls that we love, man. Those are the kind of calls that we love. And the kind of calls we also love, to be clear, are the people that are sitting there saying, hey, I need some direction. I need some help. And that's really what we are here to do, is provide you guys with the solutions in front of you so that you can move in a direction that allows you to build a thriving pavement management solutions business. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Those links are down in the comments below. You can see our screens on the virtual backgrounds are starting to flutter. It means we're at the top of the hour here. But Alex, it's been amazing to do this course. I can't wait to continue to add more and more to it. Nothing makes me more excited to collab with you, bro. Always amazing to be working with you, my man.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. This is, it's been a wild ride and a good journey to be on with you. So we're just super excited to launch this after, a year of putting this together. And the pro grinding workshop is going to be, I think, the pinnacle event of this. So stay tuned for in-field training if you want that. And I just love to be on this journey with you.
Me too, brother. Pro grinding workshop, not pro striping. I'm thinking about, actually, for those of you, we have a pro striping workshop in the beginning of September up at Alex at Skylar's. Oh my goodness, I'm jumbling my words. All right, with Skylar Garvin, pro striping workshop, beginning of September. Check out our Facebook page for that. Alex Coring, we've got a pro grinding workshop coming up. Stay tuned for those dates. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It looks like Facebook and YouTube are taking me into their screen. Alex, much love, brother. Thank you so much for all that you do, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
See ya.